Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of EETV, where I'm trying to bring you everything in entertainment. Today, we will be speaking about my favorite power weapon out of the Mighty Morphin era, the Power Axe. We will be talking about what it can do in the past, what I would like to see it do in the future, and how it relates to the other Power Ranger weapons. And I'll give you a taste of what I use to do to redesign it, and I'll give you a look at that. So let's get into this. The Power Axe is the most versatile power weapon during the Mighty Morphin era because it allowed for both a long and a short range attack. For those of you who don't remember, Zach Taylor, later Adam Park, could attack enemies with the blade of the axe, but also that axe could be turned around on the opposite end where the handle ended, and it was also the handle doubled as a barrel for a energy cannon, and it could be used for long range attacks as well. Now, given that, I think that the new Power Axe should be able to combine with the blade blasters for extra power. And also, I do think that just like in Zoo Ranger, that each Ranger should have to... Zoo Ranger, they all went together for the quest. But I think in this new iteration of Power Rangers for the reboot, that each Ranger should go on a quest and have to go through a trial that would test their both physical limits and their mental limits in order to gain their power weapon. I think that should happen because it shows that the Rangers are not only strong but intelligent as well, and that they have good character. Now, also given that, I think that the Ranger weapons, along with being able to combine with the blade blasters for extra power, I think that the Power Axe, as well as the other weapons, the Power Axe should be able to combine with the other power weapons to create the Power Blaster, yes. But I think this should also be able to be done in 2, 3, 4, 5, and eventually 6 when Tommy joins the team. It should be able to be done in those combinations, like the Power Axe and the Power Bow should be able to combine, and then that's it. Or the Power Axe and the Power Daggers, or the Power Axe and the Power Lance, or the Power Axe and the Power Sword, or the Power Axe or the Dragon Daggers. Like any one of those should be able to combine in either 2 combinations, 3 weapon combinations, 4 weapon combinations, 5 weapon combinations, or 6 weapon combinations. Because remember, in the original series, the Dragon Dagger wasn't used, but I think the Dragon Dagger should be utilized in this version of Power Rangers to combine to create the Power Blaster as well, because this allows for more creativity. Because back during the original series, the show was limited to what the action sequences was limited to what was going on at the time with Sentai. Seeming as this is not the case anymore, that they'll be able to get creative with how the power weapons are utilized, and hence this is why I came up with the different number of combinations of the weapons using the power weapons, so we can get more creative attacks and see how the Rangers can not only use their creativity, but different types of teamwork, a different number of Rangers working together to get the job done. So I think that'll provide things that we haven't seen too much in Power Rangers. Now, also with this, I'm also thinking that the Power Axe, the new Power Axe, should have a sleeker design. And this is what I designed using the AI art and drawing on my pad. This is what I came up with right here. And along with this, that when the weapons are brought together and they make the Power Blaster, I think that whoever is leading the charge at the time. Now I know Jason is the leader, but whoever assembled the weapons at the time, whoever's leading that particular attack when they bring the weapons together for the Power Blaster, I think that the Power Blaster shape should change, and it'll be a different configuration depending on who was calling for the Power Blaster to be assembled in the first place. Like say if Zach, in this instance, Zach Taylor had called for the Power Blaster to be assembled in the first place, then the configuration will look different depending on this Ranger color, which is black, and the configuration of the weapons will be slightly different and more so emphasize Zach's weapon because he's the one who's leading the charge at the time. So that is something that I think should happen, and it could be done for each 6 of the Rangers, and we can get something fantastic. And also, just to play homage to the old show, we'll also have the iteration, I guess that'll be the most powerful iteration or configuration of the Power Blaster, which is the original, and we'll have everything being brought together, and we'll see that. So I think that is something that will be fantastic if they can put that together, and just showing more teamwork for the Rangers when they bring the weapons together. That is going to be awesome. I think there's got to be more versatility and more creativity when it comes to the battles when utilizing the power weapons. And I'll be speaking more about how each of the power weapons should be designed a little bit differently to incorporate some things and make up for some of the shortcomings. But I took and utilized the Power Axe first because it was the number one, was the easiest one to speak about because of its versatility, because it's both a long range and a short range weapon at the same time. Now also with this, and this is another idea that I had. Remember the power crystals, right? I think not only the power crystals, but I also think the power weapon should be able to be inserted into the Zord when each Ranger is in its cockpit in order for it to have a boost of power. And maybe they can utilize that, and so the Megazord can have each Ranger's power weapon at the time, depending on who inserts what into the Zord. So if they're all combined in the Megazord in the cockpit, and Zach inserts his Power Axe into the slot, then I think the Megazord should be able to have a Power Axe, and vice versa, and that will make the Megazord more versatile and be able to use different weapons and all. So I think that's something else. And I also think that all of the Rangers should be able to combine their weapons and place it somewhere within the cockpit of the Megazord, and the Megazord should also have its version of the Power Blaster to utilize in order to take out monsters, to use it, to have that as some sort of final special attack and not just the sword slash. I mean, we have to get creative here, and they have to use new ideas, or people are going to get tired of the series. So since they're not limited to using Zoo Ranger footage, we can have the Megazord also have its version of the Power Blaster when they assemble it inside the cockpit of the Megazord, and the Megazord can fire away at a monster and not just the Rangers. And I think that is something that'll make to have the creativity of the series so much better. And if you're even looking at this as a marketing campaign, you can have all these weapons combined in different configurations, just like I mentioned before, and that'll make the toys sell through the roof. To get all these Power Ranger weapons, to have all these configurations, and then not only that, when the crafts people get a hold of this thing, when they make the metals they make the weapons out of the metal, and you see them when you go to the conventions, you can have this weapon that can go into 6 different configurations. And my goodness, the marketing would be fantastic. And then not only that, I think they could use the crystals as an extra power source and pump it into the weapon, and not just utilizing it as the the control for the each individual Zord or the Megazord when it's combined together. There is so much that can be done with this. And well, I'll end the video here on that. I just think those are some of the things that can be done with the Power Axe and the other power weapons. Tell me what you think about my ideas. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. Take care, everyone, and may the power protect you always.